Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind and our preseason top 25 rankings video. We hope that you've enjoyed 25 through 15. We've got our top 10. We've also got 5 teams outside the top 10 that we'll get into over the next couple of days. All right, time for us to talk about 5 teams that we had outside our top 25, but 5 teams to keep an eye on, teams that we're excited to see how the year unfolds for these 5. Let's start with number 30, and Jeff, I can't. This one's you.
Do I stand? I feel like I need to stand. I think we got to pay the appropriate respect. We're going to talk about Clearfield, folks. This is the year, Dane. Look, I know that Clearfield has been 2-39 in the last 4 years, but they're getting to 500 this year. Coach Caputo's done such a fantastic job. I love the way that this schedule sets up for Clearfield. There's a lot of games that I think are going to be really competitive for the Falcons. You look at they play Kearns, they play Jordan, they play Cypress, and I think this is good for all of those teams.
Yes, it is.
There's going to be competitive football in all of these places. I like the Clearfield roster. They got a sophomore, big defensive lineman, Sonny Salmani Jr. He's going to be everywhere. He plays both ways. They've got returners on the offensive line. They've got a returner as a running back. The Falcons have some juice, Dane. I'm excited to watch Clearfield this year. I don't know that they're going to be in the top 25. I don't know how much we're going to talk about them from week to week, but I'm going to be paying attention to the quest for 500 because I think this Falcons team can do that this year.
And that's the point of this group. This is not a group that's 30 through 26. This is 5 teams that we expect to see. Well, we are excited for the storyline of the year. Clearfield has not been 500-5 since 2017, folks. It's been a long time. There's a lot of 0 and 1 win seasons in the last 7 years for this program. We were excited when they hired Coach Caputo. Like, here's a coach who can build a program, build a foundation. Last year took some lumps. Yeah. Expect this team to get some more wins this year. And I am with you. I said I can't because I didn't want to take your glory, a proud Falcon alum here. But this is more than just proud alum talk. This Clearfield team, I think they can take some steps this year. And I'm with you. The region is favorable. The non-region is favorable. They've got some better experience, solid coaching. We'll see what kind of steps Clearfield can make this year, but 500 is very well within reach for this group.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, there's going to be competitive football played at Falcon Field this year, and that should be exciting for a great fan base, that whether they're good or bad, Clearfield fans show up. Now they're going to have something to be excited about on a weekly basis.
Awesome to have Clearfield in our 5 teams to keep an eye on. Let's move to our next team to keep an eye on. This is a team that was really good last year. Jeff, we're going to head right back up to Cache Valley and Mountain Crest.
Cache Valley, man, there's good football up there. When you look at the competitive teams, every single week is going to be fun, and Mountain Crest is no exception. They're just outside of our top 25, but the Mustangs, they bring back a quarterback, they bring back a couple of receivers. They've got the pieces up there with Coach Visser that they can make a run this year. I'm excited to see Mountain Crest. Again, competitive football in Cache Valley every single Friday night.
They went 7-4 last year, and if I recall, got off to a really good start. I think they lost a couple of games late as they played some of the top teams in their region. That region is going to be difficult this year. They're bringing it. Westfield is into that region. Logan has dropped down, so it's going to be a very different looking region for the Cache Valley teams this year. But this Mountain Crest team, I think they've got opportunities for a lot of those players to take their games to the next level. Don't talk a lot about the Mustangs, but this is going to be a group to keep an eye on here this year. Let's talk about another team to keep an eye on. We're going to come back down, but not all the way. Morgan, a team that won undefeated last year, graduated a ton of kids. I mean, it felt like, I don't know, maybe returning 4-6 starters, graduated so many kids. But this program, Jeff, I mean, it's almost like it's a train that can't be stopped right now.
They are at the 3A level. They do so much. And I love when you see a program like Morgan that has been dominant in their class. The way that Morgan is going to test themselves in the first half of the season, they play Ridgeline, they play Skyview, they play Provo. So they're playing up a bunch. Eli Mortensen comes back. He's an exciting player to watch. I like what the Trojans have, and we love any reason that we could come up with to talk to Morgan, talk about Morgan. It's fun to get up there. That's a great place for a high school football game.
It's a great community. Number one, they gave us a gift basket, so I mean that's a win right there. But Bowerly is back. He was one of their best defenders in the secondary. 4 interceptions last year. Randall's I think will be their quarterback this year because again graduated a ton of kids. But Coach Barlow has done such a great job in that community. I mean, you better get there early if you want to go to a Morgan football game. absolutely excited for their year this year. Undefeated last year. They played up last year, beat 4A teams last year. No reason to think they can't do it again this year, but there will be a lot of players who will have to step up.
Did you give back the key to the city, or did you just keep that?
I created a copy, and then I gave it back. I gave them the original. I have the copy.
That's fine. Do they know? They know now.
They know now. All right. Hey, let's move to another one. And these were our last two are two teams that we had in our top 25. Then they were out. Then they were in. We kept going back and forth. They're right there. And we'll start with the first one, the Woods Cross Wildcats.
Yeah, and I really love what Coach Brody Benson has done with that Woods Cross team. That's a team that they're in a tricky spot. There's a lot of schools. It's competitive for retaining talent. Like, it is what it is, right? With transfers, it is what it is. And it's tough to keep kids at Woods Cross. But Coach Benson's done a very good job of creating a program that kids want to play for. They had some success last year. They have some of those building blocks that they can lean into as they look forward to this year. This Woods Cross team, that's a program. We talk about programs and you talk about good teams. Woods Cross is building a quality program.
It has the remnants. When Coach Frescas went to Woods Cross, he built that program, right? And it has the feel like Benson has that on that same trajectory. You talk about, when you think of Coach Benson, physicality, running the football. He's got maybe the best running back in the state in Vili Tapa'atautai. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Vili, if I am wrong, I apologize. We'll call him Vili because I know I got that right. But this young man is a stud, was one of the best running backs in the state last year. I think he was top 3 in rushing yards for this Woods Cross team. He is back. He also plays on the defensive side as well. He had 10 sacks last year. Young man who goes both ways, extremely talented. Again, talking about his ability to run the football. All come down to that offensive line up front, but they do return a lot of guys. They also return their quarterback. Simmons is coming back this year. Coach Benson, his offense at Highland was never one to go throw the ball for 1,500, 2,000 yards. But, see if we maybe get some mix of that more this year. That being said, you got your floor general back in your quarterback. You got the state's leading rusher, or one of the top rushers from last year back. This Woods Cross offense, they're going to run the football. They're going to overpower you, overwhelm you. They're going to be really, really tough this year. All right, our last team, just again, another one that was just outside the top 25. We had him in, had him out, kind of going back and forth with this group, and I'm going to wear this one a lot. We're sitting here at Tab Bank. We got the green behind us. It's the Olympus Titans.
Olympus, man. I don't know how you doubt Coach Burt at this point, given the way that he took that job and the program that he inherited and the situation. And then he just took him to
kept it going.
That's what he did. And he has managed to win every year. He's got a couple of dogs on this year's defense. And I think that's what this Olympus team is going to be this year. I think they're going to lean heavily on that defense. Adam Bywater, he's a Bywater. If you're a BYU fan, you know Ben Bywater. If you're an Olympus fan, you know Ben Bywater. I love what Adam Bywater brings to really 2 levels of that defense. He'll play some safety. He'll play some linebacker. And then the biggest name maybe in high school football history here in the state of Utah. Yeah. You've got a Nada sitting in that middle of that defense. And
that Sam Nada, by the way.
That Nada.
Yeah.
Sam Nada is an unbelievable pass rusher. You put Bywater and Nada together as a linebacker duo, quarterbacks aren't going to have fun. It's not going to be fun to play Olympus.
They graduated a lot of their offense, and that's why we kept going back and forth. Do we put them in? Do we not? We didn't. The defense is going to be the calling card for the Olympus Titans this year. Sounds like Olympus, doesn't it? If they get players to step up on the offensive side, you could see this team have a really successful year. Again, very difficult region for the Olympus Titans this year. Every week is going to be just a gritty football game when they get to region play. But if they got guys who can contribute offensively with how good this defense will be, and you don't have to score a lot with that Olympus defense, this offense, if they can find a way to get 2-3 touchdowns a game, they could go win 7, 8, 9 games. The question is, can they? And that's where we just did not quite know, but going to be a really good Olympus team.
You saw Brighton with a very similar recipe last year get to Rice-Eccles Stadium by the end of the year. I think that's a very similar formula for Olympus this year.
Look, Olympus could very well get 7, 8, 9 wins. They could be that good. 2 teams, Olympus and Woods Cross, just outside of our top 25. They may very well be in it after week 1, but that kind of potential in both these 2 teams. All right, before we sign off, we got one more little tidbit for you. We can't talk about this preseason without having a chance to talk about maybe the best player in the state, Jeff, Brock Harris.
Brock Harris, down at Pineview. He's in St. George. Pineview has not won a whole lot of games in the last couple of years. They are building a program. They are working on getting their way back. And that's what's so interesting about Brock Harris. In this day and age of transfers, especially if you are a top flight blue chip recruit,
Yeah.
you transfer. And if you're in St. George, you transfer to Bishop Gorman. Or maybe you come up and you play at corner if you have the status of Brock Harris. He's decided to stay at Pineview and build a program. And that really kind of speaks to who he is. But don't let anybody, fool you into thinking that Brock Harris isn't that guy. I mean,
Yeah.
he could have gone to Alabama, to Ohio State, to Oregon, to just about any school. 6'6", 240 pounds. You're going to see some of the most acrobatic catches from a tight end that you will ever see. He's a very dynamic blocker. But I reached out to his dad last night because we could talk about Brock Harris, the football player, all day. And I said, hey, what don't we know about Brock? Tell us something that we should know. And his answer was fascinating. I'll read it word for word so I don't get it wrong. He said, what people don't know about Brock is that he's someone that is always looking out for the little guy, or that the kid that's picked on or bullied, he literally goes out of his way to be a visible friend to them. He is a better son than he is a football player. And when you look at what Brock Harris is doing and that loyalty to that Pineview program, the way that he has stuck it out even through some ups and downs, that all makes sense. Brock Harris is a different kind of kid. Super excited to see what he is on the football field this year because it's going to be fantastic. Super excited to see what comes of Brock Harris off the football field in the years to come.
I think he's going to be one of those kids when he gets to college. Everyone's going to be like, why don't I remember him from high school?
Yeah.
And it's going to be because his team maybe didn't have a ton of success, especially as he got more mature in his high school career. But to your point, make no mistake about it, this kid is an absolute baller, and he's got such a bright future ahead of him. I love that his dad talks about his character, and I love that you brought up the point that I think of whenever I think of Brock Harris, as good of a football player he is, this young man who decided to stick it out at his program and play for his school. Wasn't going to go chase, wasn't going to go be wooed. It was, no, I'm going to play for my community and my school because that means something. Brock, have a ton of respect for you, young man. Can't wait to see what you do this year on the gridiron and in future years to come. Brock Harris, folks, go check out Pineview this year. Watch him on a stream or go to a game. Going to want to see this young man this year, his senior year. Been a fantastic career and can't wait to see what he does this year for the Panthers. These are 5 teams to keep an eye on. Again, not necessarily 26 through 30, 5 teams with storylines for this year that we cannot wait to see how it all folds out. Our opening week is just days away, but until then, we got our top 10 coming. Come back, join us tomorrow. We'll have 10 through 6 in our preseason top 25 rankings here on KSLSports.com, presented by Tab Bank.